What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks NBA. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Started getting distracted. Why am I Team Nike today? I guess I'm just Team Nike. It is what it is. I'm not Team Miami Heat. I'm upset with them. They could have closed out that 4-0 series bet. I then, of course, had a half unit there on the Miami Heat side of it, and that did not go well. 116.99. Yep, he couldn't even put up 100 there in that spot at home to close it out. So it's going back to Boston. Got a little bit more interesting. We have Game 5 coming up here. I'm going to be giving you an analysis nice and early here, too. We're going to be able to get this video out for you, give you opportunities to be able to talk about the numbers. As always, as things change, hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist. I'd love to be able to help you find some bets, find some value if we can for this game. I do have 3 plays right from the get-go on this one. The lean, the like, the lock, everything you guys are used to. But first, BetMGM, check them out. I'm not going to talk about them the rest of this program, so do me a favor. Just get it. Help me help you is what it comes down to. You're going to get 2 free months of Odd Chopper Discord access. Myself, Ben Raza, Eitan Shander, everybody there in that premium Discord, completely free just by signing up at this fantastic sportsbook that is BetMGM. They've had some amazing numbers. They actually have the number of the lock that I am looking at here. And again, I do not pre-plan those things. I do not care. I care about getting you guys the most money possible, and that's by shopping for the best odds. So sign up at all these sportsbooks, specifically BetMGM, where that first bet you make, you're going to get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets when it doesn't, if it does not hit right from the get-go. If you win it, yay, congratulations, more money. But if you don't, you bet $100. It loses, you're going to get $100 back in bonus bets. So on and so forth, up to $1,000. So take advantage of that only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all. It's going to be a wild one. Game 5 in Boston. Let's get ourselves to the Game 5 picks. I don't have anything cute, funny, interesting to say whatsoever. Let's dive right in. Game 5, we're looking at an 8-point spread, my friends. It's going to be from 7.5 to 8.5. I can't see it moving outside of that number. We have enough of a sample size here. Maybe it moves up to that 9.5, 10-ish number that we saw for Game 2. But I doubt it just because the Heat have been pretty assertive throughout this entire series. We're looking at a money line that I thought it might look pretty interesting considering we're seeing plus 260, plus 250, the primary numbers there on the Miami Heat side. Minus 300, yeah, huge favorites. The thing that always shies me away with the Celtics for sure, and it should shy you away for the most part when it comes to, well, a lot of situations. 1, they were down 3-0 in the series, but 2, over the course of the regular season, the Boston Celtics were only 13-10 when they were double-digit favorites during the regular season. That is a number that I ran into that's just a little bit astonishing because, well, that's a straight-up record. That's not against the spread. 13-10 on the money line as double-digit favorites. That means that there are just things about this team that allow for weaker opponents to just come in and at least create opportunities to win basketball games. Now, Miami upped the variance. They knocked down threes early and often throughout those first 3 games. Jimmy Butler doesn't even shoot them. It's just Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin out there flame-throwing constantly. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo doing their things routinely. And then, well, there you go. That's how you go up 3-0. But looking at this Game 4 box score, a lot of things stood out. Number 1, well, Al Horford foul trouble on the Boston side. Only 25 minutes. I'm going to save that one for a little bit later. And then on the Miami Heat side, just 12 minutes for Kevin Love. So pretty interesting to see Caleb Martin off the bench play 35 minutes, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. Maybe there's something to grab from there. We can grasp at a couple of straws here and there, that's for sure. But friends, the lock. At least that came through for us there in Game 4, even though the 4-0 series bet, it is no longer with us. Rip City. If I were smarter, maybe I would have taken the money line on the Boston side, but again, I wasn't going to. You go with what you're seeing, and I don't think anybody felt confident about the Boston Celtics going into Game 4. Producer Alicia, thank you. She's shaking her head. No, they did not. It's kind of like Lee Trevino and Happy Gilmore. A little bit of that. Grizzly Adams did have a beard. My wife's out of town. I'm out of town too. I was never going to shave. But here we go. Very excited. I'm probably going to do it now because I'm paranoid. But either way, I'm looking at the box scores from last game, and at least our lock came through. And it's going in the lean section because, of course, these books, they adjust to the things that we're faster on. Jason Tatum is now juiced -115 as the best available number on the over of 10.5. It's -125 at DraftKings Sportsbook, according to OddsShopper, which you can sign up for below in the video description box below. -120 at Caesars. That's the best one I would have availability to. So -115 is at Bet365, and even that, starting to get a little iffy. One of the main reasons that I liked it so much is you were getting even money on the 10.5, and it was 9.5 before that at basically this exact same juice. So pretty drastic move here. We got the 11 rebounds for him there. We didn't see like the infinity minutes, only 42. I thought he was going to be on the floor the entire game, but lots of turnovers. They did bring Grant Williams out there. They had a couple of stints, but things were just going well with those bench players at the, well, it was going okay. The third quarter was the complete nuke, and we all saw it. Boston just went berserk, and the game was done. But Jason Tatum did not have to close out the game. Otherwise, I don't think he would have left the floor. Do you think he would have left the floor? I don't think. Whatever. I'm very much looking at 10.5 over. I can't pull the trigger here right now. So that'll be one that's TBD. That's why it's in the lean section. Hey, look at that. But we're heading to the like section. I don't see how you don't at least have a little bit of interest in this Miami Heat +8 side of things. I think this has just been the better team throughout this entire series, and you can't let one game, one piece of sample size just dictate everything you do there. And what happened to Miami in Game 4? They shot the 3-ball atrociously, 25% to Boston's 40%. This is kind of what we were expecting coming in, right? Like, we expected Boston to be the team to beat, and Miami would just have to shoot it out of the gym, and they did. But this is the first time they didn't go nuts in that department, and it resulted in a pretty hefty Boston win. However, 25% is a pretty low number that we're looking at, and things were still within the realm there. It was a 5-6 point game midway through the third until, whoop, goodbye. Have a great day. See you later. Yo, homie, spell you later. That'd be Philadelphia, but nobody cares about that. I care about that. Wish he didn't slap Chris Rock. That would have been good. But either way, Miami +8. Very happy to be taking the points and just kind of figuring out where this series lies. Don't want to go crazy with it. Again, it's one game we're talking about in the association. It's just, I don't like the over. I think the over-under looks pretty efficient to me. I don't really like anything else in terms of like, I mean, +8. That is the number that I think I'm looking at. Hopefully it moves to 8.5 and we can snag it there. But this is kind of a like that I'm throwing out there prospectively without having touched it yet, mainly because can we get it to 8.5? That would be ideal. But I'm talking in circles, friends. I've been saving this one up because we're going through the box score and there are going to be a lot of people. And I think the books have overreacted drastically to what happened to Al Horford last game. So said I was going to save it up. Here you go. But first, we'll talk a little bit about Miami Heat. Miami, overall, defensively, did not look as solid. They allowed for a lot of things to happen that hadn't happened throughout the first couple games. And part of it's just created by Derek White coming back into that starting lineup. He was knocking down shots. That is a guy who at least has some amount of usage, where Robert Williams, he's going to have other people creating for him. So that shift, I can see why the number maybe came down on the 7.5 there. And from the Miami Heat defensive side, they countered by taking Kevin Love off the floor basically instantly after the start of the first and third quarter. He only played 12 minutes. And then, well, you saw Caleb Martin play 35. So maybe there's a path where Al Horford's minutes make sense. We're talking about the 25 minutes because defensively, Miami did some things that I think they're going to recognize maybe they shouldn't have. But maybe Kevin Love off the floor makes sense if Caleb Martin is going to be that guy. So there's at least that. But people are going to overreact to seeing 25 minutes in the box score for Al Horford. Eric, Grant Williams played more than Al Horford did. And Al Horford can't compete with Bam Adebayo, so on and so forth. Don't care. Do not care. I think this is my favorite bet I've had from this series, period. You want to make fun of me? You want to come at me about something? Here you go. This is going to be very disturbing if this does not hit to me. And I know if you go through the box score, it's also going to look a little bit strange to me from the terms of like the last couple games in this. 7.5 is the points prop that is sitting there for Al Horford right now. It is at +100. We're talking even money to back Al Horford on 7.5 points, and I'm going to be taking the over, obviously, as I'm leaning towards that. I think Al Horford plays a lot more than the 25 minutes we just saw. And maybe Grant Williams has played himself into being that rotational guy. I think Robert Williams will be there, and Brogdon is really getting isolated there. 17 minutes there for him. Not sure entirely what to make of it, but Boston found a little bit of a formula there. Things were going really, really well. Shooters were shooting. Things finally happened for Boston. Marcus Smart creating plays, doing the dirty things in that second half to make it work. Not the like tripping people things, but made the hustle plays for you. But Al Horford led the Boston Celtics in game 4 in plus minus. When he was on the floor, Boston performed at their best. And generally, that's what Al Horford is going to help you do. He was plus 23 in just 25 minutes, and he had 5 fouls and was battling foul trouble. I really think that that's the short and the skinny of it. I do not think Grant Williams gets to 29 minutes in any scenario where Al Horford is not in foul trouble. So this is even money. I put a unit and a half on Al Horford over 7.5. Really wanted to talk through this one a little bit with you because I just think people are going to overreact, and the books sure have. He averaged over the course of this season, Al Horford, 9.1 points per game. That's not a lot, but that's 1.6 more than 7.5. And we're talking even money, so it's very easy to see where that barometer. And he averaged 30 minutes a game. There's upwards of 36, 38 minutes for him. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Anyway, when he puts up 7 points, please do not at me, at Eric Lindquist. Be kind with your words. Let's go win some money, shall we? Let's go win some money. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays for Thursday's Game 5. Check out BetMGM. Great stuff. Use promo code OSInsider. Get 2 free months of that premium Discord. Come hang out with me. And up to $1,000 back when you make that first wager. Bet 100, lose 100. Well, you're going to get $100 back in bonus bets. So very important. Great things from BetMGM. Great book that you should also have access to. So until next time, gentlemen, ladies, I don't know when that next time will be. We're going to Game 5 and then maybe see for the NBA Finals, maybe not. We'll see. I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Thursday.